I think life is too valuable to spend it with people you don't really like, and so I cut people off. I cut people off fast and with no mercy, without making too many distinctions. Whether it's people I just met, old friends, new friends, or family, I just cut them off if they don't match my expectations. And I do that because it feels horrible to spend time with people you don't really like. You can feel, you can feel the mental fatigue. It just takes space in your mind that it pulls you back into bad energy that you don't really resonate with anymore. And so I have a very simple framework to cut people off, and how to handle that, and how to decide. First of all, the first category of people is people who behave in ways I don't like towards the world, or towards other people, towards things. I just cut them off immediately, with no mercy, with no questions asked. They will stay the same. They will not change. They're just bad people in my eyes, and I don't want to have, something to do with them. So I just cut them off. Then, 1 second. There is the second category, which is people who are nice people, who behave well with the world. They have a nice attitude. They're positive, but they don't behave well with themselves. So people who may be doing bad habits, oftentimes it's old friends who are nice, but they eat shit, they play video games, they do whatever, and you can see it's nice people, like they have potential, but they just are stuck in that old way of doing things, in that AFK, how most people do things. And for those people, I sit them down. I tell them, look, man, I like you. Or look, woman, I like you. Because of this, because of this, because of this. I think you do these things very nice. I like these things. And I think you have a lot of potential. Like, you could be doing this and that. And I think you're meant for better things. And then I try to understand their goals. Like, I ask questions towards their goals and try to understand their aspirations in life, trying to find something deeper which may be there. And 1 second. Ooh. And once I understand, or they tell me basically what they want, I try to help them as much as possible. Like, if they don't want to change, no problem. I just cut them off, no problem. If they want to change, I try to help them as much as possible, as if there was like the biggest prize on earth if I manage to help them. I give them the best action steps from what I can tell from my experience, the best ways, the best mindset. I offer them, help in any way they want. I just try to help them as much as possible. And then I see where they just bullshitting. People say they want to change, but they don't really change. Or were they serious about their change? If they do change, amazing. You just saved a person and the relationship, so it's gorgeous. If they don't change, I cut them off. And usually at that point, you don't really need to address it. The relationship just fades on its own. 1 second. Ooh. And it does because they understand at that point that you're about certain things and you don't like other things, and like they intuitively understand that if they will continue doing the things that you don't resonate with anymore, they will just fade out of your life basically. And so it's pretty smooth and natural. Sometimes though, they don't get that, and they will keep doing the old things that are just bad habits, but they still invite you to do things, and they expect you somehow to like still keep the relationship, or at least they try, because obviously there is a bonding, there is a relationship and stuff. And at that point, you can decide. You can just ignore them, which I don't recommend, or you can address it. And that happened to me actually a few times, where I tried to help them. They wanted to change, or they said so. They didn't change, and they were trying to, invite me still to do certain things that I didn't resonate with, like to go out to do things and stuff. And so I told them, look, man, again, I like you. I think you're meant for better. I think you can do better, but if you continue on this path, I don't resonate with you. I want to do these other things, right? And so we're not compatible anymore. And I'll not go out with you anymore and do things. I love you, but the nice Tupac quote. Yeah, I can't remember, but basically, only because I lost you as a friend doesn't mean I gained you as an enemy, something like that. And they usually understand. And there were some people in my life that happened, and they were very understanding. They stayed in their actions and on their path, which is sad to me because I genuinely think they were meant for better. But they understood that as them being on their path, I will be on another path, right? And yeah. And then the third type of people, or people who are okay, who may or may not be, on your path, but they behave not well specifically to you. And that's oftentimes family member. And that happens because they have not updated their reality yet. So they are stuck with an old perception of you, basically. Might be, for example, your uncle who doesn't see, who sees you twice a year, and he still makes negative jokes about you, or calls you out for things you used to do in the past, or behaves in a not so nice way. And in those situations, you just address it and you stay serious. So someone might do something you don't like, and you don't laugh kind of in the joke how you used to do. You stay serious and you say don't say that, I don't like that, don't do that, right? And you look them deep in the eyes, and most likely they will get it. It's not the first time, the second, the third time, they will not do it anymore. They will catch it. This guy is not the same that he used to be, right? And so they will just update their reality finally and act accordingly. Sometimes though, that doesn't happen. And they just continue in their own, in their old way of doing things that you don't like anymore. And at that point, I recommend you sitting them down and telling them. You say, look, I see you do these things. I don't like these things. Don't do these things. Or don't say these things. And yeah, they most likely will not do it, honestly, because if you're a family member, they most likely like you, they want to spend time with you, and at that point they will get it. If they don't get it, at that point you just cut them off. You say, look, man, I told you these things, you continue doing them, I don't resonate with you, I don't want to speak with you, and you just cut them off, basically. And it's great. And it's nice cutting people off because, it feels awkward maybe in the moment, especially with old friends, when you tell them you don't resonate anymore and stuff. But before you do that, it's just, a lot of mental space, and it just drags you, it just weight on you, as if you were always wearing a heavy backpack, right? But once you leave that, you feel light, you feel free, it feels very nice. And once you cut the first person off, you start thinking, who else can I cut off, right? That happened to me a few times, and it feels amazing, honestly. It feels amazing, and there is this like wrong perception that people have. They think they can keep the old friends. You can see me, how's it called, vibrating for the cold. Will go away, we'll manage. But people think they can keep the old friends and the old people, the old relationships, and kind of, find new people that resonate with them and just transition. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Until you are tied to the old relationships, to the old people, you will not find new people, because new people will not resonate with you, because they can just sense your energy is stuck in an old way, in a way that doesn't resonate with them, right? So you need to cut them off first. And once you do that, you will not find new people. I'm just telling you, I wish I could tell you, you cut them off, you find new people, all is great. It's not like that. Once you cut them off, you will stay lonely for quite some time, because you need to get better, and you go through that famous lonely chapter, which is amazing, honestly. People think it's not nice, it doesn't feel nice. I think it feels amazing. When you're on your path, you get better, and nice things will come, right? And so you just go in that direction, you can see, just a vibrator. People will love me right now. And so you cut them off, you go through that lonely chapter, you will not find people for quite some time. And eventually you will find new people. And you will think, oh nice, these people are on self-improvement, they do the nice habits, they're very nice, I found new friends. I'm sorry to tell you that they will not stick along for long. They will go away pretty quickly, because you will soon realize they were better than the old friends who were like complete degenerates, but they are still not at the point that you want to get, right? They're in between, and most likely, as the old friends stay old friends and they do not change their path, these new friends also don't really change their path. They kind of stay in that middle ground. And so as you evolve, I hope, as you evolve and you get to the top where you actually want to be, you will lose those people in between also. And it's not just one guy or a few guys or like one friendship group. You will find multiple friendship groups on your way to the top. And not that, I'm just assuming at this point, to be honest, because I have not found the ultimate friends yet, because I don't think I'm at that point yet. Maybe I have found a few. I'm getting there. They may stick. I hope, because they're nice. I think I just need to wait and see. Unfortunately, I'm not like at the point where I can see the whole path. Looking back, I think I'm almost there, but just to tell you, like, don't take this 100%. I don't have the experience yet to tell you, but I know you will find people along the way who you will lose, because they will stay there and you will just carry on. And that's beautiful as well. That's just life. And I think I really think it's just a requirement to get to the top. Like, pretty much anyone needs to go through this thing, to this lonely chapter, to cutting people off, finding new people that they lose, and ultimately get to the top. I think that's just something you need to go through, and I think it's beautiful. And I think also the in-between, when you're lonely, is great, honestly. It may be just for my personal character, where I don't have difficulty being lonely at all. I know other people may, just different people, they may have more difficulty and they may need more social connections. For me, it's not like that, so I find it great. Um, but I think you need to go through that thing. Every great person, so to say, that you see, like, they tell you the same thing, so most likely it's a common thing. And now we spoke about friends, but this also applies to women. And it's happening, like it happened before a few times, and it's happening right now, where there's someone I know who I like, but I need to let her go because she's just stuck. She has potential, I told her already, but she's just stuck in the old way, on her own like current path, which doesn't align with mine. And so you just need to let people go and cut them off, and not necessarily in a bad way. Just fuck you. I do my own thing. Like, go away. You're out of my life now. In the sense of, like, you just acknowledge you're not compatible anymore. You just leave them, and whilst leaving them, you leave room for new people, right? And you let yourself go from things that were dragging you back, and you evolve faster, and so you get to those people, if that makes sense. And I wish that for you, because it's very nice, and it's just life, living life, which I think is beautiful. So I think it was helpful. Before I end, remember the 3 ways, right? This is important now. People behave badly towards the word bad people, cut them off. People are okay, oftentimes family member, are not nice to you, tell them. People who are nice to the word good people, but they don't behave well towards themselves, try to help them, try to see if they change. And these are the 3 ways. Now, as you were watching this video, a few people came to mind, or at least one person came to mind, right? Because you resonated with the title, looked at the whole video, it resonated with you, so you have some people in mind. And I wanted to keep this in the end, so you have the action step. Take action right now. Like, call that person, organize to go out with that person to tell them, text that person. Whatever the action step is, as I laid out previously, do it. Don't just watch this video and stay in the old relationships. Cut people off, or not necessarily, but like try to see how you should act, right? If it's an old friend, try to see if you can help them and change for the better, and take the action steps. So do it right now. I'll finish the video. It was great talking with you. Open WhatsApp or call them and do it.